Hello and welcome to the 2024 Light Novel Collection Tour. For those that don't know me, I am Caketinz and primarily I collect manga, as you can see, say, across the room and on the back side of the room as well. Manga collection tour coming after this one. But while I collect manga, my partner collects light novels, and these are his light novel shelves. I am also joined by the cat today. Say hello, Yuna. We are gonna go along his shelves and see what he's got. He has a bunch of stuff on these shelves that aren't just light novels. He does have a load of like RPG books and stuff, art books up here. But we are going to be focusing on the light novel stuff down here. Now he also keeps them alphabetical, but instead of going down like I do on my shelves, he goes across, so the alphabeticalness goes like this, and then it goes to the next shelf over here and along again. Let's first dive in with a few of these. Some of these, I think he has some video game light novels that he decides to keep them over here. So we have a Dark Souls one, Mask of Vindication, Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, Memory of Heroes. I'm not sure if they're all necessarily actually light novels or just books to do with the games, such as this Final Fantasy VII Traces of Two Pasts. He's a massive 7 fan and has been playing the remakes, rebirth games recently. Final Fantasy XIV Chronicles of Light. This is actually one that I do intend to try and read at some point, considering I'm a massive 14 fan as well. All the characters on here look super cool and sick. Cowboy Bebop, he was a massive fan of the original. I'm not sure if he's read this one though. He had mixed feelings on the Netflix. Nier Automata, long story short and short story long. I think these are quite neat that they match like this. Mass Effect Deception. He loves the Mass Effect games, and I'm not sure I think there's quite a few novels to do with it, and he was unsure about dabbling into it. He did start to dabble into Star Wars High Republic specifically during this year, so he started getting those. Not sure if he's brave enough to do another one just yet. A Metal Gear Solid 2 one. Then he has a couple of cloth-bound, not light novels. These are like Penguin classics, I want to say. Dracula, Bleak House, and Picture of Dorian Gray. I was trying to convince him to get all of them because they're so pretty, and sometimes you can find them pre-owned, but he's like, no, you can do that. I was trying to convince him to, and it just didn't work. Dot Hack Another Birth Volume 1. I thought this was a manga when I bought it. Did not realise it was a light novel till it got here, so it went to Ben. Seventh Time Loop Volume 4. So most of the light novels Ben gets do come from me. I primarily source them from sale sections, as you can see here, or pre-owned. Light novels typically cost a bunch more than manga, usually £1 or £2 more. As you can see, this one is $13.99 and the manga equivalent is usually $12.99. So he does often get light novels out of order just because trying to find them on sale because they're a bit more pricey. He's also a lot slower reading them, so I don't think he minds too much if I get them out of order. He has asked me to stop picking up too many new series though, which I've mostly tried to abide by. Next we have Axel World 1 to 6, 8, 10, 13, 14, 16, and 26. I believe this is the same person who did Sword Art Online. They have a few, and this is another one, also very long ongoing. Nice Rainbow Spines. I'm not really sure Ben's like started it, especially because it's been quite sporadic what volumes I've managed to find him, and I can't believe it's on 26. God damn. Then we have Accomplishments of a Duke's Daughter. We have 1 to 4 and 6. This is another series where it's been primarily like sale sections or pre-owned. You can see this one was 50% off in Traveling Man. That one was bought in a 3 for 2. But actually really enjoyed some of the manga that he read for this one because it's quite a lot more politic-y, over like romance-y, and it was quite excited to try the light novel because usually those sort of aspects are heightened more in light novels, both of us have tended to find. Agents of the Four Seasons. Now, Volume 1, this was technically very kindly gifted to me from Yen Press. They also recently released the manga that has come out as of this month, I believe. Ayla Sometimes Hides Her Feelings in Russian Volume 1. Ben's not really touched much of the slice of life kind of high school volumes that I've bought him yet, like this one. But it was in a sale section at Traveling Man again. Traveling Man also often have light novels in their sale sections. If you're able to hit one of the stores when they've got a sale on, or the Traveling Man warehouse, that's probably where I get most of his light novels nowadays. I think last Christmas, at least more than half of what I gave him for Christmas came from one of their warehouse sales, and they can easily be £3 to £4 a volume. Apparently the Disillusioned Warriors Adventurers Will Save the World 1 and 3. This was another start to pick him up in sale sections, $4.99, as you can see there. It does have a gap for Volume 2. Is we have Alphabetical 1 to 13, but he is missing 11. This has been one of his favourite light novel series, and also, sorry, Alphabetical 0, 1 to 4, and I think that is up to date. I'm not sure if it's complete. He's absolutely adored this light novel, so trying to find 11, I've been like not rushing because I can't find it like on sale or anything, annoyingly, but he is caught up to volume 10 and is kind of just waiting for me to find him volume 11. As we have Ascendance of a Bookworm, and the numbering is a little funky on Ascendance of a Bookworm. So we have 1 to 3 of part 1, that's complete. Part 2, I think, is up to 4. That might be complete. 3, he has 1, 2, 4, and 5, not complete, missing 3. And then part 4, he has 1, 2, 3, 5, I think. And I think this one might be ongoing, maybe. A while back, World of Books had some discount codes even on brand new books, and that is actually where I think I swept up most of the series for him. Can't remember if he said he'd started getting into it yet, because he had more gaps at that time, and he tries to pick a few series to go through slowly instead of trying to jump all over the place. But I love like the scale factor. This is such a nice size for a book. It's nice. Next we have Asterix War 1, 2, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I don't think that is like the latest volume, and he has quite a few gaps. Very mixed feelings, or heard very mixed things on the series. 75% off. Very picked up very cheap most of the volumes. Definitely many of these have been pre-owned for sure for a couple of pounds. This tends to be the sort of series he does enjoy, sort of mindless, fighty, with fun characters, like nothing outstanding, but he tends to enjoy those. As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world, cut it half price, volume 1. I hear very good things about the manga, so I really want him to read this and for me to read the manga at the same time so we can like compare notes. I find that really fun to do if possible. A lot of these do have accompanying mangas, and it's interesting seeing the differences, the details between the two. Speaking of Baccano, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, missing volume 2, though that is not up to date. Most of these have been bought discounted, pre-owned and all that. Finding volume 2 is a bit tricky. That is unfortunately quite a hard one to find. See, this is a series where I've heard lots of people say amazing things about the anime and the light novel, and then I read the manga, which is complete at 3 volumes, and I did not enjoy it. It felt incredibly rushed and confusing, and I can only assume part of that is by it being restricted to just 3 volumes, and they were trying to establish story and characters that in the overall story has been established across multiple volumes, and the anime is quite long as well in comparison, from my understanding. So if you're interested in this series, I hear it's good, just don't read the manga, please. Ballad of Sword and Wine, volume 1. Ben has started getting rather into BL this year, during Pride Month, and then started to read a little bit of Danmei and picked up some random volumes, and this one was recommended to him, so he's grabbed this one. I don't think he's read this one yet. Berserk of Gluttony, volume 4. I quite enjoyed the manga, so when I saw a reduced copy of volume 4, I was like, well, I'll grab you this even though you don't have any more, and he got a little mad at me and I apologise. Then we have Blade and Bastard volume 1. This is a hardcover, interestingly enough. It's the same person who writes Goblin Slayer, and Ben has been really enjoying Goblin Slayer this year, so this is actually one that he asked me to pick up during one of my sci-fi orders. He'd read lots of good things about it online. But Fairy, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. So we've got 1 to 5, 7, and 9. This is another one where I now occasionally find volumes pre-owned or sale, though I don't see any stickers on them, maybe not. The manga's very cute. It's another video game one, and he loves his video game series. And they're quite nice and thin, nice to read. Bride of the Barrier Master, volume 1. This was yet picked up for half price. I've rather enjoyed the manga, and sometimes there are series that I pick them up, and because they're light novels, they go to Ben, but it's more because I'm interested in trying it one day, and that's kind of this one. I'm interested in trying this one myself one day. Look Naked in Another World 1 and 2. I don't think there's been a third one out. I'm not sure. It's a very silly isekai. Ben said it was just super dumb, and it was exactly what it says on the tin. It was very, very silly, but he enjoyed it. Jutozi is in the Ramune bottle 1 to 3. This one was also a sale one. As I said, he's not really touched much slice of life yet, so I'm trying to slightly hold off, especially on new ones. Try and help him complete ones or catch up to ones he's already got. But if I get him new stuff, I mostly try and focus on Fantasy and Isekai now, because he's not really touched these sort yet. Chronicles of the Hidden World, How I Became a Doctor for the Gods. Just picked it up because it was in the discount section. He's not got to it. Classroom of the Elite 1, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, and Year 2, 1 and 4. Almost all of these I think I've bought pre-owned for £4 to £6 each. Ben had been really interested in reading this, but it has been really hard to find. I think it got quite popular over COVID and it was hard to find copies, unfortunately. But every now and again I find a new volume and we just grab it. But we're still a way off, unfortunately. Combatants will be dispatched 1 to 4. I'm not sure if it's written the same, or I think it is. Same person who did Konosuba. Ben does enjoy Konosuba, and he's been reading the manga of this. I can't remember if he's read the light novels, but he enjoys that one too. Cross-dressing Villainess, Cecilia Sylvie, 1, 2, and 4. I didn't realise I was missing 3. I really enjoy the manga of this one, and I've been quite thankful. I've managed to find some copies of this in like sale sections or pre-owned, so I can get them for a decent price. And I hope to read this one day as well. The Death Mage 2, also probably on sale somewhere, pre-owned. I think it was pre-owned. Usually if there's no stickers and it's a random volume, it's going to be pre-owned. Mixed feelings on the manga. I felt like it probably was the sort of thing Ben would enjoy, so I did nab that for him. And One Piece books tends to be a little pricier. And we have Death March to the Power World Rhapsody 1 to 4. And next shelf down we have 5 to 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18. This is on his list of longer series he likes to tackle. Usually he has like 3 or 4 in rotation and you'll read a volume for each, go along the series and then go back to the beginning. He's kind of waiting for me to find the last couple of volumes he needs, so he needs 11 and then 16, 17 till he can have a nice good clear run, and then this is one he's going to jump into. I think all of these have been bought pre-owned or like sci-fi sales sections, daily deals. Demon Lord 2099 1 and 2. I think this is probably up to date. I think this is actually one he picked up on one of our London trips, maybe even in like foils or something. He'd been really excited for this one. I don't remember why. Just realised on the spine it says Cyberpunk City Shinjuku and Cyber Magic City Akihabara. Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just need 2 and 3 for that to be a clear run as well. Another sale series predominantly. Devil is a Part-Timer 1 to 5, 7, 11, 13, 14, 15. It's another series that is definitely I think in the 20s. And you just sometimes see volumes for a couple of pounds. So yeah, not rushing really to grab this one. As you can see, $1.99. I find with light novels, it's usually you're more likely to see them on sale, but whether or not it's something you're looking for or wanting to collect is another matter. If you're collecting a bunch and read different varieties and you enjoy, say, your bad isekai, you're definitely going to have more options if you're happy to go for it. Not to say necessarily this series is bad or anything, just in general about all the other sales stuff and things. Also the fact that light novels just as themselves are a lot less popular than manga. There's a lot less interest. I find they're just more likely to pop up pre-owned or in sale sections because they just don't go as quickly. Then we have Devotion of the Surgery Room. I got this at Treadman Warehouse for I think £4. I think it might be a one-shot looking at it, but I'm not sure. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10 and 11. These have been quite random pickups. Some of these I even picked up in HMV at $4.99. How crazy is that? I've been very put off by the manga because the manga is such slow releasing. It's a volume every 3-4 years or so. Just don't remember what's happening. But so probably one I would recommend to tackle the light novel if you're interested. One of these I swear I got for 99p, but I can't remember which one. Disciple of the Lich Volume 5. Another random was on sale volume. Ben got a little mad at me for this one, but he likes his liches, so he did slightly forgive me. Division Maneuver 1 and 2. This is actually a complete light novel series. There are not many short light novel series, and this is one. It pops up a lot secondhand, and for good reason. From even Ben said it was not very good. It was a bit weird. He probably wouldn't recommend it. I mean, with a cover like that, I'm not surprised. Do You Love Your Mom and Her 2-Hit Multi-Target Attack? 1 to 5, 7, 9, 10 and 11. 11 is the final volume, I think. It does actually say final on there. I love it when they do that, but he does have some gaps. He needs 6 and 8. Oh, is it just 6 and 8? Oh, it's just 2. Okay, maybe I should try and get him those for Christmas then, maybe. Jokes aside for the title and the topic of the series, Ben has actually quite enjoyed it because it has like quite a fun magic system from my understanding and is quite silly. If you can look past the whole Mumbit. Dragon and Ceremony 1 to 3. All of these have been in sale sections. I think they might all have sale section stickers. £5. Well, this one might have been pre-owned. Not sure he's read them, but yeah. Drugstore in Another World 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. He has actually expressed an interest in reading this one. We just can't find in volume 3. I feel like we've said that volume 3 in light novels seems to be the most common volume that's tricky to find for some reason. I don't know if that's just sort of the point where there isn't quite a nice enough balance between how many volumes they print and how much demand there is. But volume 3 seems to be the trickiest, usually. And again, I love this stumpy size that 7 Seas do for their light novels, and their light novel imprint is Airship. I love the different imprints. Then we have Eminence in Shadow 1 to 4. I actually got him for a while back in a sale section, and $9.99 might seem a lot, but these are hardcover volumes. 4, I'm not sure, is actually up to date. I really enjoyed the manga from what I've read. It's really silly and fun, and I think he read the first light novel this year and also really enjoyed it. The Ethereal Scenes of Setsuna's Journey, Volume 1. So this is also a manga series, and very kindly sent this by Yen Press, the manga, not the light novel. I wasn't massive on the manga. I think it was okay, especially in terms of like isekai series. It was fine, but thought I'd get the light novel as well so we can potentially compare notes again. Even a Replica Can Fall in Love. I think this is another one that was sent by Yen Press. I feel like this year there's been a lot of light novels sent out to creators from Yen Press, especially to ones that are only really known for doing manga content. Like I know Liddy Moon's received quite a few light novels, and I've seen others receive light novels, which is really neat. I wonder if there's like they're trying to just spread the word of light novels as well, because as I said, they're definitely not as popular as manga, so they're trying to like, oh yes, you've got the manga, and also look at all these light novels that are also out to just try and tempt everyone, which I kind of like. Sometimes it's nice to read a book with words. Executioner and Her Way of Life 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, missing 2. I think almost all of these have been Traveling Man Warehouse sales, which means I won't be able to necessarily tell from looking at them. Oh, this sticker meant Traveling Man Warehouse sale, but I am missing volume 2, unfortunately. It was an interesting isekai manga where this person is going around executing people who've been isekai to not upset the balance. So it was a little bit more gory than I expected, but actually kind of an interesting read. Failure Frame, I Became the Strongest and Annihilated Everything with Low Level Skills 1 and 5. But it was really interesting getting volume 1 and then kind of dipped a bit. I think I just got 5 pre-owned, and we're just going to wait and see if we can find more when we do. Faraway Paladin 1 and 3. These are also hard covers by J Novel Club, so they're probably going to be a little bit more pricey. I think I got him the third one in a Traveling Man Warehouse, so that one wasn't too bad at least. Oh, then we do have a couple of Final Fantasies. We have 2 Final Fantasy 7s, On the Way to Smile and The Kids Are All Right, a Turk's Side Story. I don't know why he keeps these here and not with the others. I'll have to ask him. Real Life Fantasy Online Immortal Princess Volume 1. I enjoyed the manga of this to start and then got a little less interested after the first volume. Ben has also been interested in this. I'm not sure if he's actually read this one yet though. I meant to check with him before I started doing too much recording, but he's busy doing something else, so I'm winging it, okay? I'm sorry. Full Metal Panic Collector's Edition 1. Is this a light novel? It is! Oh my gosh! That is chunky, heavy, and another hardcover. And volume 1 suggests that there are more. That's really nice. That's pretty. That's quite big. Genius Prince Guide to Raising the Nation Out of Debt 3, 5, and 7. Yeah, very much a find it for a couple pound or more the books, and he's missing loads. Ghost in the Shell 5 new short stories. He does very much like Ghost in the Shell. The Girl I Saved on the Train turned out to be my childhood friend, volume 1. As I said, did get him a few of these in like the warehouse for a few pounds each, but he's not really touched them yet, so I'm not rushing to get him more momentarily. Goblin Slayer. So Goblin Slayer, he has 1 to 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, and then he also has Goblin Slayer Side Story Year 1, 1, and Daikatana 1 and 2. So he definitely is missing 14. I thought I'd found him number 9. I'm questioning if he actually has 9 out to currently read. I'll have to check with him. This has been one of his highlight reads of this year, and I've been really like pushing to try and find him volumes of this so he can keep going. He's really loved it, and I think he's hoping to try and catch up with whatever he can before the end of the year. And then he also has the Goblin Slayer TRPG book, which is a big old chunky boy. He absolutely adores reading these kind of books. As we have Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation 1 and 5. He has read volume 1, and I believe he rather enjoyed it. And then Kicks from Discord server, one of my mods, very kindly donated a duplicate volume 5 to Ben. He has actually since picked up a couple of more, but I was like, I'm not putting anything else away until I've filmed everything, and he also wants to try and get into more Danmei over the next few months. So I think we just need to get him one more volume, and then he'd have 1 to 5. I think we've gotten him like 3 and 4 maybe. I'm also trying to convince him to like put them all together so we can have all the Danmei on one shelf, but currently he's also still stuck on the it has to be alphabetical. I'm hoping to like try and convince him slowly. Now we have the Greatest Demon Lord. He's reborn as a typical nobody, 1, 2, 6, and 7. Another, don't think it's going to be very good, but I get it for a couple of pounds every now and again on World of Books. Grimgar, Fantasy and Ash, 6, 10, and 11. From all accounts, I hear this series is really good, but it's so hard to find. It's so hard to find. Now I haven't looked on Sci-Fi properly yet, because if I do, and they're a bit more pricey, I'm going to be really sad. But it is definitely a trickier series to track down. There are definitely some volumes that are just very hard to find. Has your skill, the guild member with a worthless skill is actually a legendary assassin, 1, 2, and 6. Interesting manga. I'm not sure how it's going to be in the light novel. It's a little bit more spotty than I expected, especially it's not plastic wrapped. For some of the things that occur. Wanted Bookstore, Gateway to a Parallel Universe, 1 and 4. I think I just picked him up volume 1 as like a Christmas present, and then 4 I think was pre-owned. It's actually a bit battered. It's pretty battered. It's really wobbly. I'm not going to show you that. It's so bad. Heaven's Official Blessing, another Danmei, so he can try and put them all together. I think this is one of the next ones he wants to tackle if he runs out of books to be able to read for Demonic Cultivating. Hell Mode, the hardcore gamer, dominates another world with garbage balancing volume 1. I think he actually asked for this one as well. Again, sounds very much up his alley, a really bad kind of isekai game. Her Majesty Swarm 1 to 3. Ben really likes this one, I think, but they are very thin and small and cost a lot for what they are, so sale or pre-owned if you do. The Hero and His Elf Bride open a pizza parlor in another world, and this is a one-shot. This was actually given to us from a friend at work. He was like, I don't really want it, you can have it, it's a light novel. Ben has read it, and he said it's exactly what it says. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious, 1 to 6, a nice clear run. I think the manga is wonderful. I don't think Ben started the light novel though. The hero last will walk in the path of vengeance a second time, 1 and 5. I'm a bit bummed because I really enjoyed the manga. I love a good revenge story, but I don't think that we've had one in a few years. There is a series where I might actually turn to the light novel to get some more story. It's a bit dark. High School Prodigies have it easy even in another world. 1, 2, 7, mostly bought on sale. You can see that one was on sale. This one was a whole £1.99. And then some were just half price in Travelman. I found the manga quite interesting. I see not many other people enjoyed it though. In Dungeon Only I can enter 1 to 6, a clear run. I didn't realise I'd got him a clear run. Not great in my opinion, but usually even the ones I don't think are that great, the light novels have such a more involved like world building and plot building compared to the manga, that even the ones I don't think are great as manga, Ben often says they're actually not bad or kind of interesting in the light novel. Hello Regalia 1 and 3. I think actually I might have gotten him 2, maybe. The Nice Bright and Colourful volume 1 was a kind gift from Yan Press. I think Ben has read it and he did kind of enjoy it. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom 1, 7, 10, and 12. He really liked volume 1, very much about like world building and policies and politics. but it's a bit pricey, don't see it too often, so these are just World of Books finds. How Not to Summon a Demon Lord, and it is 1, 2, 4, 5, and 13. He had really enjoyed the anime for this, so I did intend to try and get him a bunch of these, and I just keep forgetting. It's definitely a longer running series, which means usually they start to get the early ones start to get a bit more harder to find, unfortunately. I got his cheat skill in Another World and became unrivaled in the Real World 2, volumes 1 and 3, and still, as with the manga, the title is so hard to figure out what it's saying on the spine. I have actually quite enjoyed the manga quite a lot. It's not, again, groundbreaking, but it's just always nice to read an isekai sometimes where you can go back and forth between the real world and the isekai world, so I hope he enjoys that. I kept pressing the 100 million year button and came out on top 2, 3, and 4. These were all Travelman Warehouse pickups, still need to get in volume 1. I Shall Survive Using Potions, 1, 3, and 5. An interesting isekai, another one with potions, quite a few of those. J-Novel Clubs are a bit more pricey, so these are all pre-owned. I Swear I Won't Bother You Again, and that is volume 1. It kind of matches Accomplishments of a Duke's Daughter by having the novel 1 at the top. Kind of an interesting manga at least, but it's another one where they release a volume every 2 to 3 years, and I just don't remember what's happening, especially with how thin they are. So it is another one where I might turn to the light novels for more story. Oh, and he does also have volume 2 of that as well, which it was on sale. I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire, 1, 2, 4. He had way more of these than I expected. There were some things about the manga that I found really weird, but when I talked to him about it, he was like, yeah, that's just not a thing in the light novel at all. And I was like, that's so weird, because it was like the main thing that put me off a bit about the manga is just not really brought up or talked about at all in the light novel, which is interesting, especially because the first a light novel typically has enough content for 2 to 4 volumes of manga, and I only read 1 volume of manga, so he's definitely read more of me plot and story wise because he's read 1 light novel. I'm in love with the Villainess 1 and 2. Look how differently sized these 2 volumes are. It's kind of crazy. It's like half the size volume 1. Gosh. I think I got these in a sale again or second hand. It is a GL Villainess, and Ben has been reading lots of BL and GL recently, so I jumped on that for him. I'm the Villainess. I'm Taming the Final Boss 1 to 3. This is absolutely 100% a light novel I intend to get into because the manga series completes. I was going to say it completes at 3. A 4th one has come out. Of my understanding, it is short stories, but I haven't yet picked it up. I've not gotten to it yet. Not seen it in store or in stock. So this is absolutely a light novel I will be reading because I enjoy the premise and the story. I just need more content because the manga is stopped at 3 and the light novel I think is ongoing. There is more than 3 volumes of the light novel for sure. I've been killing slimes 300 years and maxed out my level 1 to 7, 9 and 12, and this prequel series volume I was a bottom tier bureaucrat 1500 years and the Demon Queen made me a minister. Ben has read more of the manga of this than I have. It's a very cute series, just not a huge amount happens, and again keep picking them up on World of Books or in sales for at least half price. That tends to be my go-to when I'm buying light novels. It has to be at least half price for me to nab them, if not more, especially if I'm buying them second hand. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat the Demon Lord 1 and 4. These are incredibly thin. I think these might actually almost be thinner than the manga, which is kind of crazy. So not rushing, just pre-owned. In Another World with my smartphone, 1, 2, 8, 12 and 18. This is also a series in the 20s. Ben watched the anime, found it a bit weird, so I was like, well, I am 100% going to get you the light novels then. So again, just when I see them on sale. In the Land of Liedel, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Another one. Well, we are missing volume 3. I really, really loved the manga for this, and I really want Ben to read this. Managed to get, I think, 6, 7, and 8 in a Travelman Warehouse, so that would have been like £3 or £4 a volume. Just need to track him down, volume 3, annoyingly. Infinite Dendrogram, 1, 5, 7, 9, 12, and 18. Ben was really interested in picking this up, didn't realise how long it was, so now it's as and when we find a volume we grab it. And we have Invincible Shovel volume 1. I'm not sure if this is complete at 3 volumes. I think the manga is complete at 7 volumes of manga, so I'm not sure if that is it for the light novel. It is hilariously silly, over the top, and really dumb. I really do recommend it if you go for the light novel. I don't know if it's as good as the manga, but the manga is wonderful. It's not good, but it's bad, good, silly, wonderful. It's wonderful. Next we have the regular of High School 1, 5, 10, and 20. Just another see it on sale sections and I grab it for him. $1.99 as you can see. The Isolator 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure how many of these are out. I want to say is again the same person who did Sword Art Online and Axel World. Next we have Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? So we have 1 to 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16. And Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? Sword Oratoria 1 to 12. As well as Familiar Chronicle Episode Freya and Episode Lu, which I believe are one-shots. This is the main series. This is a series alongside Death March that he just wants like the last couple of volumes, 10 and 15, to be able to move that into his rotation of series he's ongoing trying to read. And he doesn't want to touch the spin-off yet. Apparently someone mentioned at one point there is a reading order that you can go through because this kind of starts to run in parallel with the main series, which is infuriating and wonderful at the same time. And then the one-shots, I'll need to check if they fall into that order as well in any sort of way. Then we have J.K. Haru as a sex worker in Another World Summer, and I believe this is a spin-off from the main light novel. I think the main light novel for this series is only a 1 volume, so that wouldn't be too hard to pick up eventually. And then that is a spin-off which I got on sale. Kept Man and the Princess Knight Volume 1. I have the manga and I have read it this year. I wasn't really a massive fan, but it might be Ben's kind of thing. Kingdom Hearts 3, the novel. I'm not sure if this is the sort of thing you'd enjoy. Oh, Volume 1. There's going to be multiple. I'm not sure if that's going to be his kind of thing, but he is a massive Kingdom Hearts fan, so he might still like it. Then we have Konosuba. So we have 1 to 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 14, 15, 16, and 17. 17 is the final volume in Konosuba, so he just needs 8, 12, and 13 for that to be complete. He has read, I think, what he can. He is now blocked. And then we have an explosion on this Wonderful World 1 and 2. I'm not sure if that is complete at 2, but it's complete at 5 in the manga. And then Volume 2 of Deadbeat Busters. I think I got all of these in like Traveling Man sale for £3. And then we also have the Konosuba TRPG, which he really, really enjoyed too. Then we have Kuma Bear 1 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 15. Ben has loved reading this series, though his slight pet peeve is it takes about 30 seconds to read a page because look at these really thick margins and they're just quite small volumes anyway. I think he was blasting through a volume in just like an hour or so. Main character in this is called Yuna though, and it is a big teddy bear. And there is my big teddy bear Yuna, who has the zoomies currently. So if you can hear it, I apologise. You say sorry, Yuna. 1 to 5 of Last Round authors, all bought in sale sections or pre-owned. To be fair, most of the light novels are. Why do I keep saying that? That's where they're mostly from. The Lawyer in Shizuki Sleeps with a Wolf. Now, I actually thought this was a manga. I was mistaken. So I ordered it, I think, from Sci-Fi, thinking it was a new release. It was not, so I just handed it to Ben. Legend of the Galactic Heroes 1, 2, 9, and 10. This is a series that Ben really wants to read. He really, really, really wants to read it. I think 10 is the final one. Potentially. I have ordered a load of him from Sci-Fi to give him for Christmas, so hopefully when I unbox that they'll all be in there. There might be one missing, there might have been 1 volume they didn't have, but we can try and track down just 1 volume and then he can read this. Log Horizon 1 to 11, that is up to date. There was some funniness with the author. I think there is still a couple more volumes out in Japan, but they've not been brought over in English. It's one of Ben's favourite light novels and isekai series. He adores it, but it is questionable if we'll ever get any more content, unfortunately. Magic in This Other World is too far behind, 1, 4, and 8. Pre-owned copies predominantly. Magic User 1 to 3. Ben has really enjoyed this one as well. I don't know if there's another one out actually. Magic Explorer. Reborn as a side character in a fantasy dating sim 1 to 4. Very similar to another isekai series we'll get to in a little bit. Interestingly, I'm not sure there's been any more manga volumes. I think 1 came out. I've not seen anything about any further ones. I don't think it's amazing. I think the other side character dating sim one is better in my opinion. So yeah, these have all been Traveling Man Warehouse half-price pickups too. Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess and Genius Young Lady Volume 2, another GL Isekai. and just need to find in Volume 1. Majesty's Bad Trip, Volume 1. I think Ben really liked this one and was hunting to see if there was another one out. Maiden of the Needle, Volume 1. I thought the cover of this was really quite nice. I know it's covered with a big old sticker, but this was really pretty. I've been vaguely, slightly enjoying the manga. Mixed feelings, so that is a light novel that's kind of more for me because I would like to read this one. Miss Savage Fang Volume 1. I also have the first manga of this and I'm saving it to read alongside Ben while he reads the light novel. Modern Villainess. It's not easy building a corporate empire before the crash, Volume 1, because of how much he liked Accomplishments of a Duke's Daughter. I thought this might also be the kind of thing that he would enjoy, so I think I got this for him for Christmas a bit ago. Most Heretical Last Boss Queen 4. This was another sale. I'm not sure if I should have gone for it for 7, to be honest, especially since it's a Volume 4. But I was a bit bummed with the manga getting canned at 3 and now there's another version coming out, so I was like, maybe the light novel's just a more reliable way to go. Muscles and Mighty and the Magic 2 and 3, so just need Volume 1. The manga is complete at 4 though. Mushoku Tensei 1, 2, 10, 14, 17, 18 and 23. This is meant to be a really good light novel series and really wants to get more into it, just there's so many volumes. It's just whenever I see a volume, so he gets like 2 or 3 a year at this rate, which isn't that fast. I'm sorry, Ben. My First Love's Kiss, Volume 1. This might be a GL, I think, looking at it. This was also sent by Yen Press this year. Not gotten to it yet, though. My Happy Marriage 1 and 5. This is a very, very slow releasing manga, so I do actually know quite a few people who have turned to the light novels just so they can still enjoy and read more content. My understanding is they are also very good. The light novels are equally as good as the manga. My Hero Academia School Briefs 1 to 4. I think this is no, I'm not up to date. I think there's a 5 now. I'm behind. But I don't rush to grab the Viz light novels because they're always usually not too bad to pick up pre-owned. Viz anything is never normally too bad to pick up pre-owned, so I'm just kind of waiting, and if I see 5 I'll grab that. My Instant Death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Volume 2. This is one I think I accidentally picked up thinking it was manga and it was not. Silly me. So I own Volume 1 at least. My Next Life is Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, Volume 1. I have started to try and pick up some more Villainess stuff, more for me than for Ben. They're all light novels belong to Ben. These are very, very thin, so I have to really justify it to myself. It has to be a good price for me to want to pick them up. My status as an assassin obviously exceeds the hero. 1, 2, and 4. Need to get him 3. I love the start of the manga for this, and then it very much dipped, but it's another one that had like 3 years between volumes. So maybe if you want the story, I would say the light novel. A Mysterious Job called Oda Nobu Anga 1 to 3. I think this is actually complete at 3 volumes. And I got all 3 of them on sale or pre-owned. Yes, it does say final down there. It's like trying to find the little bit that says final somewhere. Then we have some Naruto light novels. We have Itachi's Story, Kakashi's, Sakura, and Shikamaru's. I have read these 3. I have not read Itachi's, and I picked them up long time ago, just as Naruto ended, I think. And I didn't know what light novels were, and I was very surprised they weren't pictures. I would like to try and pick up the rest, but again, I'm just going to wait till I see them pre-owned, really, and jump on them then. No Game, No Life, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12. Keep seeing these pop up pre-owned recently. I feel like I've seen a lot this past year, and I've managed to sweep up a good few. Obviously, there's still there's like gaps. Need 2, 4, and 10, and 11 to have a nice clear run for them to read. These have gorgeous front covers. They're so bright and vibrant. So nice. NPCs in this village sim game must be real. 1 to 3. This is a complete series, complete at 3. I believe the manga is complete at 6. I think Ben quite liked it. I'm interested to see how it concludes. I've not finished reading the manga yet, so I've asked for him to not really give any spoilers to me because I am actively reading the manga. But he said it was actually a pretty decent end. And we have One Piece Ace Story 1 and 2, and there is also a manga for this that I did not get a chance to read last month, but I really hope to try and read this month. Only I Know the Ghoul Saved the World, Volume 1. I think this was a random one in like a warehouse sale. Orc Eroica 1 to 3. I believe it is as degenerate as the title potentially suggests. I believe these were plastic wrapped, and Ben has read them all. Filthy Giga. The Otherworlder Exploring the Dungeon 2 and 3. He does need 1. From reading the manga, it reminds me a lot of Yuna, please! Reminds me a lot of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Dungeons? She waited till I stopped talking to play with it again. Yeah, why did you bring it here? Our Last Crusade or The Rise of a New World Volume 11. For some reason, I thought he was collecting this series. It turns out I was getting mixed up with the manga, so he only has Volume 11. It was $4.99, but he still got mad at me. Then we have Overlord 1 to 3 and 4 to 16, and that is up to date. Let me know what you think about Ben splitting the series right across different shelves, because here is 4 to 16, and then 1 to 4 is over there. These are pretty nice releases. They are hardcover. They've got these really nice, neat, big ol' pieces of art on the cover. I do start to see them pop up pre-owned a bit more nowadays, but Ben has picked up, I think, most of these, like, just on Sci-Fi or in 3 for 2s. He loves it. It's probably one of his, again, favourite light novel series there is. He does mostly stay very up to date with when a new one comes out and then reads it when he gets it. Look at the different sizes though, like 16 and 15 have been so small. Though they have arcs on the spines, I think, which is pretty neat. I love when series do that. Then we have Pandora Hearts Caucus Race Volume 1. This was a Travelling Man warehouse pickup, I think. Sometimes I think if it's not sold in store, it then moves to the warehouse, so I think I paid more than 25% off for this one. I'd love to try and pick up the main series of Pandora Hearts though. It is very hard to find still in the UK. Perfect Blue, I think I got this in HMV for $4.99 as a one-shot. For instance, a Convenient Plot Devices Volume 1, similar to like cross-dressing Villainess Cecilia Sylvie. I hope to try and get to this eventually to see if there's like more plot and world building around the characters and the edges. Rascal Does Not Dream 4, 6, and 7. I would like to try and get more of these, but again, this was a slice of life. I did not realise it was like majorly slice of lifey when I first picked it up, I think, unless I've mixed it up with another series. I kind of like they all have like different subtitles. Does Not Dream of, what does that say? I don't know what that says. Sicecon Idol? Dreaming Girl, His First Love. What does that one say? Am I blind? Can I not read? Raven of the Inner Palace Volume 1. I think I got this pre-owned on Sci-Fi actually, and it's in pretty good condition. Another one where it's got this like banding for novel 1 at the top. Reborn has a Space Mercenary 1 to 8. Another one Ben really does love very much. It is like a sci-fi isekai, and I don't feel like we get as many of those, especially in English at least. It's predominantly just high fantasy kind of stuff, but this is sci-fi, and he really does love his sci-fi, and he loves this one, so probably would recommend this one. Reborn as a Vending Machine, I Now Wonder the Dungeon 1 to 3. This is up to date. I believe the series is on hiatus, and it has been on hiatus for so long. There is kind of a expectation that it is unlikely to ever come back, unfortunately. It is great, it is dumb, it is silly. There is an anime that has been actually like fairly well received, and there is a manga, but that is also quite slow releasing. So there are plenty of ways to try the series if you're interested. It is a good dumb isekai. Reign of the Seven Spellblades 1, 2, 4, and 5. I just need to find Volume 3. Volume 3! Why do you keep eluding me? Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling Volume 1. I had quite enjoyed the manga and found it quite similar to Summer Spider So What, so I got him that one to try as well. Reincarnated as a Sword 2, 7, and 9. I didn't realise how few of these he had. I swear he had more of them. He does not, so I need to try and track these down. Again, these are all pre-owned sale pickups. Traveling Man Warehouse. Restaurant to Another World 2 and 3. I think this isn't actually a very long light novel, but it is very hard to find volumes nowadays. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to complete this one because of how hard it can be to find. Is Yuna willing as part of that, Mika? Okay. You're holding her face in place. Poor Yuna. Next we have ReZero, and I believe he has a run to 20. I think he's getting 16 for Christmas. I have started hoarding light novels, so in my head when I look at the spreadsheet I can see, oh, you've got a clear run, but on the shelves it doesn't reflect that. I am fairly positive he is getting 16 for Christmas, and then he'll have a clear run to 20. And then he also has 23, and then X1 to 3. I'm not sure if that one's up to date. I'm not sure if this one's up to date. In Japan, ReZero is like over 30 volumes long, which is kind of crazy. I'm just glad that they don't do the same chaptering that they do on the manga, because it's so confusing and I've completely lost track sometimes on what I do and don't have because I just get confused. This is another series Ben wants to add to his rotation when he, I think, catches up with some other series. Rising of Shield Hero. We have got 1 to 9, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22, and the reprise Spear Hero 1 to 3. Again, I find him a volume or two a year, I feel, at this rate, and slowly building it up for him. Managed to get a clear run of 1 to 9, pretty much all pre-owned, which is so wonderful, and even 15, 16, 17, 18, that's a nice little run there, just slowly building it up. It's interesting, Ben has read some of the light novel, I can't remember how far he's gotten. We also watched the anime together, and I read the manga. And comparing scenes in Shield Hero has been quite interesting because they are completely different in each of the 3 mediums. Not all scenes, obviously, but we were just talking about a few, and things were done differently. They had different characters saying different things, and different, like, emotions came across, and it just played out the scenes in, like, such a different way, just because they had a different character saying something. Say they said something in the manga, and then the anime they had someone else say it. And it's just quite interesting how differently a scene can play out, and those small changes making that kind of difference. Roll over and die. I will fight for an ordinary life with my love and Cursed Sword 1 and 3. Another nice little stumpy 7 Cs, just need to find him 2. Saga of Tanya the Evil, we have 1 to 11, but he is missing 5. I need to find him 5. I keep forgetting he's missing volume 5, otherwise I'd really try and track it down so we can have a nice clear run, because that's another one he'd like to tackle. Saint's magic power is omnipotent, omnipotent, 1 to 4. That's definitely not up to date, but it's a nice clear run. Really love this series, got most of these pre-owned or in sale sections. Sasaki and Peeps 1, 2, and 4. I think he now has more of this than I do, because I think I've fallen behind on the series. It's apparently like a reverse isekai, I'm not sure yet. Silent Witch 1 and 2. I did accidentally get volume 2 of the light novel thinking it was the manga, because I think somewhere I bought it from had it mislabeled, or it wasn't clearly labeled. So then I got in volume 1. I think that's a really nice cover though. What a nice cover, that's pretty. She looks cool. Right, volumes 1 and 2 of Sexiled. My sexist party leader kicked me out, so I teamed up with a mythical sorceress. Yeah. Apparently it's actually half decent, according to Ben. She professed herself pupil of the Wise Men 1, 2, 4, and 7. Another see them, pick them up pre-owned when we find them, but not rushing. Skeleton Knight in Another World 1 to... oh gosh, 1 to... oh, is that 1 to 9? Is that a clear run? 1 is a library copy. That's a clear run. I think that's 1 to 9. Oh my god! I was like quickly doing Roman numerals. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh yes, I think that's a clear run. 1 to 9. Oh my gosh. I think Ben has read some of these and had quite enjoyed them. So I think it was quite... yeah, that must explain why I was quite excited when I handed him some more of these volumes. Summer Spider So What? 1, 2, 5, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16. He really wants to read this. Unfortunately, single-digit volumes are so tricky to come by for decent prices, unfortunately. So yeah, we just grab volumes when we can, but it is taking some sweet, sweet time to get them. Do love the manga. Next we have Solo Leveling 1 to 3. And 4 to 8. I think that might bring him up to date. I've been thoroughly, really enjoying the manhwa, and he's really enjoyed what he's read of the light novels, so he should have a clear run to catch up to date regardless of where he is now. The Sorcerer King of Destruction and the Golem of the Barbarian Queen, Volume 1. It was on sale. I was around the manga. I hope he enjoys the light novel. Spice and Wolf, 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 24. Potentially silly decided to start picking this up for Ben this year when I found a whole pile of these in a Tramman warehouse for, I think, £4 each. It is a very, critically acclaimed series, especially the light novel, so I was quite keen for him to try it at some point. Do need to get a lot of those pesky single-digit volumes, which tend to be the trickiest ones, annoyingly. Spy Classroom 1 to 5. I'm not sure if it's complete at 5. The manga is complete at 3. I don't see a final on there, and Yen Press tend to be pretty good at that kind of thing, but the manga is complete at 3. All of these have been in sales, I believe. Spy Family Family Portrait. Is this a light novel? I mean, it must be if it's here. It is a light novel. I completely forgot about that one. That's probably one I should actually tackle, to be honest. Strange Adventure of a Broke Mercenary, 1 to 3. An interesting fantasy. I rather liked the manga, and I just, again, need to fill that gap for him. Strike the Blood, 1 to 5, 7, 9, 18, 20. Now, this series, I believe the earlier ones are the trickier ones to find, and we lucked out and managed to get 1 to 5 in a sale somewhere, and now it's just getting the rest of the teens. I think in general it's not a particularly easy series to find though, so we'll see how we can do, I guess. Suppose a kid from Last Dungeon Boonies moved to a starter town. 1 to 4 and 7. I think this is just a really fun, silly fantasy, and I'm interested to see how it comes across in the light novels. The manga, I think, is really silly. It can drag a little bit sometimes though, and this is quite a longer running one. Like, I think it's still ongoing potentially. 7's definitely not the last one, I don't think. Next we have Sword Art Online. We have got 1, 2, 27 of the main series, 1 to 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12 of Gun Gale Online, and 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of Sword Art Online Progressive. Now last year, Ben set himself a challenge, I think it was last year, and Ben read like a volume of this a day in the lead up to Christmas, and I think he got to somewhere around the 20s, because he didn't do like exactly a volume a day, or he might have read 2 in a day, or he might have skipped a few days, but he got to somewhere in here and had rather enjoyed it. But I think it might be like Moon Cradle, because along the spines these are all the different arc names. It was around here that he stopped, and he just didn't go back, but he had rather enjoyed doing his nice binge. I still can't get over the fact that he said the whole Aincrad arc wraps up in just the first light novel, and then the second is like side stories that happens the whole thing just in that. That's kind of crazy. Next we got the Tearmoon Empire 1 to 6, and that's a nice clear run. I managed to get these pre-owned, I think on eBay was where I got them from, for like £5-ish each, I want to say, and they are J Novel Club, which isn't too bad. The manga is incredibly thin, so it's just really hard to go through, because I do actually kind of enjoy it. It's a back in time, but when it's so thin, it's just like hard to really like sink your teeth into. Tezcatlipoca, and I think this is an all-in-one, a big old chunky one that we got in a warehouse sale for pretty cheap. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, and I think I might have picked him up 3 and 4 for Christmas, hopefully, if it's in my boxes. He really wants to read more of this, but he is missing some quite early volumes. I think he's already read volume 1 actually, so he will need 2 and 4 to really get more into it, and then eventually 14 for a clear run. This is still an ongoing series as well. I read the manga, absolutely love it, very much recommend this isekai. Though I am an inept villainess, Tale of the Butterfly Body Swap in the Maiden Court, and we've got 1, 2, 5, and 6. I think I did say to myself, I try and film this with daylight because the lighting down here is not great. It's already gone dark, but I'm so close to the end, so I'm going to keep going. Please forgive me. And I believe the manga that I've read goes to the end of volume 4. I think 4 volumes of manga get to the end of this, and it's kind of the first arc, I want to say, maybe the second one, or some point at the start of the second one. I think it's very interesting. These I've been picking up in sales, as you can see, that was $6.99, so I do need to try and get him the gaps to fill, or for me, depends if I read them. Can't believe the $6.99 for that one as well. Torture Princess Volume 1. I don't think this is meant to be very good. I got it pre-owned for about £1. Trapped in a Dating Sim 1 to 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. He does need volume 4 of this. He had actually really enjoyed this. He did not expect to at all, because it's like a dating sim kind of game, but it's like this whole mechanics around mech fighting. It's very strange, but he actually quite enjoyed it a lot. So he's been a bit bummed I've not like tracked him, got him down the volume 4 of this yet. Unnamed Memory 1, 2, 4, and 6. Now I believe that this is actually almost complete. I think the last light novel is out in English. I'm just not sure if it's 6 or 7 or a couple more, but there isn't actually too many of this to be complete. I've quite enjoyed the manga, which does suggest that there will be an ending at some point for the manga, if their light novel's in theory complete, I think. Have I made all this up? I'm not sure. Unwanted Undead Adventurer 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Another quite pricey, very thin series, so I picked up for a lot of these for £4 each, I want to say. maybe 5. Just need to get the early ones. The Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess. Got it on sale, volume 1. Victoria of Many Faces, volume 1. This was another kind gift from Yen Press. I haven't gone to it. I hear actually it's pretty good, and it's one that I should probably definitely get into reading at some point soon. The Wandering Witch, Journey of Elena, 1 to 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, and 11. These volume covers are so pretty. I adore the volume covers of these. I've been really enjoying the manga, even though it's actually pretty dark. They're pretty dark and kind of down volumes, to be honest. If anyone else has read them, you probably know what I mean. I think 5 came out not long ago, and I think in the back of 5 it says 6 is going to be the final manga volume. So it's another series where if I want more content, I'm going to have to tackle the light novels. The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash, volume 1. It was kind of a cute isekai. Interesting how it plays out in the light novel. Warlords of Sigradifa something, and I think this might be a one shot. It's by someone else. Ben was saying, oh, it's by the same person who wrote such and such, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I think he enjoyed it. White Cat's Revenge, as plotted from the Dragon King's lap, 1 and 3. Very, very slow releasing, but I do enjoy the manga, so another light novel I think I'll try and tackle. Woof Woof Story, 1, 6, and 7. Just get them when I see them for a few pounds on World of Books. World's Finest Assassin, 3 and 6. Again, only when I see them like on proper good old sale or something. I did not realise he didn't have that many though. Should probably try and get on this one. World's Strongest Rearguard, 1, 4, 6, 7, and 8. He started reading this year and rather liked it. He really, really liked it. So again, this was one where I said there are some weird bits that happen in the manga, and he was like, nah, it's not really a thing in the light novel. It's more about like stats and building up your party and fights and that kind of thing. The sort of thing I was saying. He's like, no, not really. So it's interesting how different things get portrayed across different mediums. I do need to get in volume 5. I'm not sure if he's read 1 to 4, but he said that he really would like me to try and get in volume 5 of this. And then final series we have is Your Former, 1 to 3. Once again, all pre-owned or sale section. Sale, $4.99 for that one. And he has had a few people telling me you should read this one, so he's trying to push this one up his reading list. And there you have it. That was the light novel collection tour. I hope you enjoyed it. In theory, I should have had Ben sat with me and going through it like we did with the last one. If you would rather I did that, let me know and I'll try and corral him into doing it with me sometime mid next year, and we can go over it and it'll have all the stuff I got for Christmas as well. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Has this tempted you to pick up any light novels? Please let me know, and which ones. If you have any questions for Ben about light novels, he is around in the Dudette Discord server. A link can be found down below. Please feel free to shout at him and he'll happily answer any questions. Otherwise, remember to like and subscribe and check out my channel memberships for early access, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!